Hello students, this is Mr. Anderson, and in this video we're going to talk about graphing absolute value functions. Real quickly, absolute value means distance from 0. So if I give you something like this, I say we have the absolute value of -5. What that's really saying is what is the distance between 0 and -5, and that is 5 units. If I say what is the absolute value of 12? What that's really saying is what's the distance between 0 and 12 on a number line, and so that is also 12. So absolute value will always be a positive number in and of itself. Let's look at the parent equation here, y equals the absolute value of x. And in our previous videos, we talked about finding the output values when we have given input values, and that's exactly what we're going to do here. Y equals the absolute value of x. So what this is saying is when our input is -2, when we substitute in -2 into the equation y equals the absolute value of x, it's really saying y is the absolute value of -2. Well, what's the absolute value of -2? That's just 2, because -2 is 2 units away from 0 on the number line. Let's look at your next one. Y equals the absolute value of -1. What's the absolute value of -1? It is 1 unit away from 0. And the absolute value of 0 is just 0. Y equals the absolute value of 1 is 1, because 1 is 1 unit away from 0. And what's the absolute value of 2? It's just 2. And now you have a set of ordered pairs indicated by your x value and the corresponding y value. And we're going to plot those on the Cartesian plane and see what we have here. So we're going to plot -2, +2. That's going to be right here. -1, 1, 0, 0. 1, 1, and 2, 2. And now we can plot our graph by connecting our points, and there it is. It's this V-shaped curve. Absolute value will always be a V shape, and like the parabola, we have a vertex. Your vertex is that lowest point, and your vertex in this graph is 0, 0. It's located at 0, 0. So your vertex ordered pair is that. The other thing is, what is your axis of symmetry? Your axis of symmetry will always pass through the vertex, and that is right here. Let's look at a couple others. Y equals the absolute value. Y equals 2 times the absolute value of x. In this one, you have to find the absolute value of the x piece first, and then multiply that times 2. So when we plug these in, what's the absolute value of -2? It's 2. What's 2 times 2? It's just 4. Same thing we can do with -1. What's the absolute value of -1? It's 1. 1 times 2, 2. When we put 0 in for our input, we get an output of 0. When we put in 1 for our input, our output is 2. And when we put in 2, absolute value of 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. And now we can go ahead and graph this by plotting our ordered pairs. We're looking at -2, 2. I'm sorry, -2, 4, excuse me, -2, to the left and up 4. At that point, negative 1, 2, so we're going to go left 1 and up 2. 0, 0. 1, 2. And 2, 4. And we need to put arrows on our graph. And it is a V shape, so it is an absolute value function. And the other question is, what's the vertex? Our vertex is at the ordered pair 0, 0. And the other part is, what is the axis of symmetry? That is right here. How about this one? Y equals the absolute value of x plus 5, subtract 4. Go ahead and pause the video here. Try this one on your own and come back and check it. On this one, the correct order of operations is important here. So we have y equals negative 7 plus 5 minus 4. Negative 7 plus 5 is 2. Absolute value of 2 is 2. 2 minus 4 is negative 2. If we put in negative 6, negative 6 plus 5 is negative 1. Absolute value of negative 1 is 1. 1 minus 4, negative 3. When we put in negative 5, negative 5 plus 5 is obviously 0. Absolute value of 0 is 0. 0 minus 4 is negative 4. Put in negative 4 for our input. We're going to get an output that is negative 3. And when we put in an input of negative 3, we're going to get an output of negative 2. And now we can go ahead and graph this. Negative 7, 2. So we're going to go to the left 7, down 2. We're going to go to the left 6 and down 3. We're going to go to the left 5 and down 4. We're going to go to the left 4, down 3, and to the left 3, down 2. And now we're going to connect our points. And there it is. Other question here I could ask you is, what is the vertex? That's that low point here. That ordered pair is going to be negative 5, negative 4. The other question I could ask is, what is the axis of symmetry? And we'd have to put in the line right here.